Bioware has been having a very rough time with Dragon Age the Veilguard because tons of gamers online have been roasting them over the identity politics shoved into this title, but also how it's not what fans expected. It's a soft reboot, which hasn't sat well with a lot of people, and now we're finding out that Bioware is melting down and they are banning anybody with the quote wrong opinions on the Steam forums. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, it's not particularly shocking to hear that this is happening. It does happen very often, whether it is on subreddits, which, yes, is most of the time not ran by actual developers or studio heads, but just people in the community, though they are pushing the same agendas as the activists behind these products. And now we're seeing BioWare banning anybody with the quote wrong opinions from the Veilguard community hub on Steam. And it's so disappointing because while these companies take everything so personally, they shouldn't. The reason why I am sitting here criticizing games on this channel is because I want them to be amazing again. I want BioWare to make amazing titles. I want companies to do better. I want this industry to thrive because I love video games, but instead they just freak out and melt down over us simply criticizing their products. And now this is exactly what is happening. Pirate Nation had posted, "You have been banned from the Dragon Age the Veilguard community hub. My pronouns are God/Emperor. Somehow I've got a feeling the OP wouldn't respect that though." And it says, "While this ban is active, you will not be able to post or comment on the community hub or upload new content." We have another one, same exact thing. You can also see from this screenshot your access to the Veilguard lobby has been blocked until it says November 7th, so a full week, and it's all because this post contains content that is combative, argumentative, or is likely to derail the discussion. This type of content is not allowed, so basically any form of criticism, any form of debate is not allowed, which is so absurd. All they want is for people to praise them, which is not a healthy environment, in my opinion. A big reason why, again, gamers criticize companies is because we want them to do better. We want them to give us reasons to swipe our credit cards, but now they just do not allow that to happen anymore. And not only does it look bad for Steam and the game, it looks bad for the companies that are doing this. And we're also finding out that Asmongold had actually gotten banned from the subreddit. It says during his most recent stream, he posted to the subreddit a post titled, "I'm really excited for Dragon Age Veilguard," and based on a screenshot from his stream posted by an ex-user, he wrote in the body of the post, "It's my first Dragon Age game and I'm curious to see what all the hype is about." And then the post was removed from the subreddit and he was banned from the subreddit. So Steam's doing it, the subreddit's doing it. I mean, we are talking about full meltdown damage control mode, which really only causes the Streisand effect to happen. If you try to silence people, they will find another platform to go to. They will take to X, they will take to YouTube, they will find a way to voice how upset they are, and ultimately, they will not swipe their credit card on your game, which is what you need in order to be considered successful. This is such a pathetic situation that time and time again, this is happening. All because we do not want identity politics shoved in our faces. Now, of course, there have been a lot of accounts on social media covering this game, and I think that they are just being, inundated with a lot of criticism, so they're freaking out. They don't know how to deal with it, which it's kind of shocking given the last few releases from BioWare have all been major failures or been highly criticized, but we are allowed to say We do not want identity politics shoved in our faces. Why, in a fantasy game with dragons and elves, do I need my character to decide whether they are transgender or non binary? Why are we using modern terminology like transgender and non binary in my freaking fantasy game? That takes me completely out of the story. And then you have, of course, things like top surgery scar toggles. It's just absolutely absurd, in my opinion. And sure, there are people out there who are going to use it, all five of those individuals, because this does not appeal to the majority of gamers. You are making content for a small audience that probably isn't going to end up showing up. While we do not have all of the player numbers yet, it is currently sitting at 66,000 right now. All-time peak was 70,414, which, hey, is not terrible, I suppose. But if you compare it to other games that have launched that have been in established franchises, like Hogwarts Legacy, for example, we're talking about 879,000 people. And sure, Hogwarts is massive. Harry Potter is a behemoth franchise, but we're still not talking about crazy numbers here. And never mind if you compare it to numbers from studios who have only put out one single game, like Black Myth Wukong, 2.4 million players here. Crazy numbers. And right now, funny enough, Dragon Age the Veilguard is being beaten out in player numbers by the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. It's only running for a few days. And while, yes, that is free, we're talking about 350,000 people testing that versus 70,000 for Dragon Age. So the media is also trying to spin that, though right now BioWare is freaking out over all of the backlash. They are banning anybody with the quote wrong opinions. They are trying to silence us, and it's not going to turn out positively for them. It's going to cause people to make videos, to take to X and other social platforms and voice how unhappy they are. And the more you try to silence people, the worse it's going to get for you. And I don't think that this is going to get any better anytime soon. I think that this is going to continue to get worse. People are also commenting things like BioWare's approach: silence any opinion that doesn't align with their approved narrative. There's no fixing the game at this point, so better to censor criticism. It's Steam. It's time you start holding these people accountable for their abuse of power running these forums. See, this is the issue, is that Steam doesn't care, and they probably enable these developers to silence individuals. They say, oh my god, we're so sorry you're facing hatred and harassment on our platform. Feel free to go ahead and block them and delete their posts and report their accounts. It's very sad to see that Dragon Age is being ran and altered by radical leftists, and this is just the very state of the video game industry. So I, of course, will be keeping my eye on this to see if they continue to ban people, but right now on Steam, people are being banned, and on the official Dragon Age subreddit, content creators like Asmongold are being silenced as well. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.